Θερινό Σχολείο που χρηματοδοτείται από το Ίδρυμα Λάτση αναφέρεται στα μεσογειακά αγροδασικά συστήματα και ιδιαίτερα στα παραδοσιακά αγροδασικά συστήματα.
Η Αγροδασοπονία είναι μια παραδοσιακή χρήση γης, η οποία πραγματεύεται παλιές αξίες, παλιές αρχές, παλιά γνώση με τη σύγχρονη τεχνολογία.
There are some scientific definitions of agroforestry, such as land use systems where there's a significant economic and ecological interaction between trees and an agricultural system. But I think the definition that I quite like is simply growing trees on farms.
Agroforestry is the combination of tree with crops or pasture for grazing. Traditionally, people open the forest to graze and to crop in between the trees, but conserve the trees. Mostly in the 20th century, most of the tree was removed and the arable land and pasture became tree landscape.
I am a PhD student. This is the first time that I visit Greece.
My name is Georgiani. I'm from Brazil.
And my name is Bruno. I'm from Brazil too.
I'm Judith and I'm from Spain.
Οι καθηγητές που έχουν έρθει έχουν μια πάρα πολύ καλή συνεργασία με τους φοιτητές και αυτό επίσης αποτελεί μια επιτυχία για μας. Όσον αφορά τους στόχους του προγράμματος, είναι ερευνητική, είναι εκπαιδευτική και είναι και πρακτική. Όσον αφορά το ερευνητικό κομμάτι, οι καθηγητές έχουν παρουσιάσει σχεδόν όλοι ένα μέρος των ερευνητικών δραστηριοτήτων τους και αυτό ήταν σημαντικό γιατί τα παιδιά και πήραν ιδέες και πήραν μια γνώση για το τι ακριβώς συμβαίνει στην Ελλάδα και στο εξωτερικό σε ερευνητικό επίπεδο.
No Brasil, a agrofloresta ainda é uma prática não muito comum. Nós precisamos no Brasil ainda quebrar alguns paradigmas relacionados à falta de algum incentivo. Nós temos algum incentivo, mas precisamos ainda de mais subsídios para poder implantar a agrofloresta adequadamente no Brasil. Temos alguns paradigmas para ser quebrados, como o imediatismo, por exemplo, mas o Brasil tem um grande potencial para desenvolvermos sistemas agroflorestais.
Eestis tegelikult ei ole agrometsandust, kuigi meil on siiski niidud, kus on nii puud kui ka kasvab hein ja seal on lambad, kes seda heina söövad. Samuti meil on hästi suured põllumaad, kus on samuti pikad põõsaste read. Aga me ei kasuta neid põõsaid puid millegi tootmiseks, vaid need on lihtsalt elupaigad lindudele, loomadele.
Nós temos no Brasil alguns projetos em andamento sobre sistemas agroflorestais, porém o agricultor ainda não tem muita informação sobre isso. Essa informação é mais divulgada nas áreas onde existem projetos sobre sistemas agroflorestais.
These kind of summits are very important because they favor the exchange between the European partners. And nowadays, it's important to exchange, for example, for the question of regulation in Europe, because regulation in agriculture or in agroforestry, it's not only a matter in Greece or in France or I don't know, it's a European matter. So we have to exchange about the methodology, the kind of regulation, or to support the development of agroforestry.
Agroforestry is a practice that is still happening in Spain. You have all different types. Many of them are linked to traditional land use systems, but it's still a widely used practice, for example, in areas like the southwest of Spain, where we have plenty of dehesas, a silvopastoral system that comprises whole mold and then sometimes cultivation, but otherwise just grazing by animals. It's just actually the area where we get the famous jamón, the ham, from Spain.
Summer school, such as this one here, provides an excellent forum for people from different backgrounds and from different countries to meet together. There's many questions being asked in terms of how we should use the land or our land in terms of going forward, and there are no simple answers. And learning from the experiences of what's happening in one country and seeing how they can be applied in your own country is very valuable. And even as a lecturer, there's a sort of feedback, and the questions that you get can also help promote your thinking.
For me, the major contribution of this course was to know people about the other countries, and also because I'm one of the youngest students of this summer school, I could see what the other people is doing, and I have the opportunity to think about what I would like to do in the future.
For me, the most important benefit from this summer school is the fact that we're gathered here many students and young scientists from all around Mediterranean, and we have a unique opportunity to discuss about similar problems maybe, but give different solutions.
Αν και το επιστημονικό μου υπόβαθρο δεν είναι απόλυτα συναφές με τη δασολογική σχολή, θα μπορούσα να πω ότι το Summer School μου έδωσε τη δυνατότητα να καταλάβω πλήρως και να εμπεδώσω την έννοια του agroforestry. Βέβαια, πρέπει να επισημάνουμε εδώ ότι η προστασία του περιβάλλοντος είναι πάνω απ' όλα και σίγουρα θα πρέπει να έχουμε αυτό σαν πρωταρχικό στόχο.
The summer school is a wonderful opportunity for students, but not only for them, also for the teachers to share opinions, experiences from other countries. We have to consider that the tradition, languages, culture itself is part of the environmental diversity. If we lose these opportunities of sharing and mixing with other cultures, we actually lose diversity.
Agroforestry is, on one hand, a new concept, but on the other hand, it is actually reviving the traditional agriculture that was held in Southern Europe, in the Mediterranean region for many centuries. Now, in one way, one may say that this is a revival of a very old, disappearing concept, because most of this traditional agriculture has disappeared. I prefer to look on it as a future concept, a concept that we should develop professionally in order to manage our countryside in the current and the future time.
Επίσης ήταν πολύ σημαντική και πολύ επιτυχής η εκδρομή στην αρχαία Ολυμπία, γιατί τα παιδιά μπορέσαν να δούνε τις τρεις πτυχές του περιβάλλοντος. Είδαν δυστυχώς την καταστροφή που είχε συμβεί στο φυσικό περιβάλλον της Ηλίας, είδαν τις προσπάθειες, το ρόλο του ανθρώπου στην αναποκατάσταση αυτών των ζημιών, το τι έχει γίνει μέχρι τώρα, και επίσης κατάφεραν και είδαν τον φυσικό πλούτο στην αρχαία Ολυμπία και στην Ηλία, μάλλον θα πρέπει να πω γενικότερα. Και βασικά ο νομός της Ηλίας θα μπορούσε να χαρακτηριστεί ότι στο μεγαλύτερο κομμάτι του είναι μια πραγματικά πρακτική εφαρμογή της αγροδασοπονίας στην Ελλάδα.
For me, the field trip to Olympia was very interesting because I could change some different point of views, because the professors had different points of views, and this made me think about forest management and agroforestry.
Που εφαρμόστηκαν οι θεωρητικές γνώσεις που αποκτήσαμε στο πεδίο, στην περιοχή γύρω από την αρχαία Ολυμπία, και έτσι είδαμε στην πράξη μερικά από τα αγροδασικά οικοσυστήματα, αλλά και τους σκοπούς που αυτά εξυπηρετούν.
Besides these students, besides that they are from a lot of countries, there are also a lot of backgrounds. We have foresters, landscape architecture as me. There is agriculture, environmentalist. So everybody have his point of view about agroforestry.
In Croatia, the forest actually is forbidden to graze for animals to graze in the forest. But how we saw in many examples, actually in many cases it can be useful for like goats and sheep to be in the forest and to decrease the possibilities for fires and maybe even improve the management. So maybe after this school I can transfer this knowledge to Croatia and maybe it can change also the view.
One thing I've been particularly impressed by in terms of this summer school is the focus on the Mediterranean region. The inclusion of people from Northern Africa within this summer school brings a whole new aspect to the study and my understanding of agroforestry.
If we stop desertification in North Africa, I think all the Europe Mediterranean country could be in a good situation, and they aren't afraid from the arrival of desertification.
In Greece, we have this diversification between the intensified agricultural systems, and towards the higher altitudes we have some very old agroforestal systems that are there for many years. They are now again put into action because people now understand more about agroforestry's values.
I have had an experience in north of Morocco, which is considered in an area which is considered like subtropical because of its rainfall, but is still belonging to the Mediterranean area. And there is the necessity of an implementation of an agroforestry system, including pastoral systems in this country, including the population. So thanks to this course, I have had ideas, I have had contacts, and more hope to make it possible.
Merhaba, benim adım Hüseyin. Türkiye'den bu yaz kursuna katıldım. Türkiye'deki agroforestry sistemleri biraz geleneksel. Ancak buradaki farklı ülkelerdeki agroforestry sistemlerini de görünce daha fazla bilgi edindim. Ve dönünce ülkemde bunları da uygulamayı planlıyorum. Gruptaki arkadaşlarımla iyi anlaşıyoruz ve güzel vakit geçiriyoruz. Yunanistan'ın geceleri de çok güzel, geceleri de çok eğleniyoruz. Türkiye'den herkese selamlar.
Είναι φανερό πλέον ότι από την εγκατάλειψη αυτή έχουμε μεγάλη συσσόρευση ξηρής οργανικής ουσίας, οργανικής ύλης στον υπόρροφο των δέντρων και αυξάνεται ο κίνδυνος των πυρκαγιών, άρα και η κατάρρευση των συστημάτων αυτών. Αυτό που μπορούμε να κάνουμε τώρα είναι να κάνουμε μια απογραφή και καταγραφή των συστημάτων αυτών, ώστε να ξέρουμε τι έχουμε, να ξέρουμε ποια είναι τα πιο σπάνια, ποια είναι τα πιο κοινά συστήματα και να προτείνουμε κάποιες λύσεις για τη διαχείρισή τους και τη συντήρησή τους.
The cities are growing too large and too problematic, and it costs a lot of money to maintain this urban life, and it is not as great as it was supposed to be. And secondly, that the countryside, the abandoned countryside, produce huge problems that cost a lot of money, even they were abandoned, like the fires. To put down the fires, to pay for the cost, to reconstruct things is a very huge economic expense. Even from the pure economic point of view, we have to think differently today. We have to put more resources in managing the so-called abandoned countryside and find other ways to make it useful, to control it, to manage it for the benefit of all of us.